Okay, today we're doing something a little weird. We're going to watch this 4v4 game, and then we're going to answer a lot of questions from an email, some of which have accompanying clips with them. So, you know, it's a little bit unusual, so we're just going to start this game right now, because we're not going to worry too much about the team comp in 4v4. We're also on the console, by the way. Consider yourself warned. We did so good at remembering suddenly. So I don't know a lot about 4v4, if I'm to be perfectly honest with you. I don't even know the map we're on right now. This isn't really my scene, honestly. So there's a Zarya here. That's unfortunate for us as Tracer, because Zarya can end up saving people, but now their Moira's dead, so that's a bit of a bad start for them. Now Genji's also dead, hooray. So we're not just playing Tracer over the course of this, we're also going to play Sombra, and then we're going to play Widowmaker as well. And a lot of questions in the email were basically Sombra-centric. So that's going to be sort of the crux of what we're about today. So Tracer just kind of blinked up right next to us and did a good job of boring us through the skull. But now we're going to change to Sombra, because she really fucks up Tracer and Genji, you know? It's just how it is. Oh, they have a Reaper now instead of a Genji. Well, you know, Sombra can still fuck up a Reaper if things go well. If things go well, you know, anybody can fuck up anybody if things go well. Good input, myself. So, a little bit scary. They're all kind of right at the top of the staircase. Unfortunately, we hacked Reaper right as she started doing that, because we would have loved to have hacked Moira out of her coalescence instead, but it turned into a clusterfuck really quick. You might have noticed I don't really have too much to say about this one. Oh, Reaper's upset. He's like, oh, this health kit's gonna save me. Ah, shit. Ah, fuck. I guess not. So we have to get to what? 30 kills to win? Is that what we have to do? Oh. Get stunned and then hacked. Can't Wraith form as soon as the hack ends. Tragic for him. So we've almost got Emp built up. That's cool. I think that's still hacked down there? Yeah, it's still hacked, so... So, if I might actually make a comment on the game. We can see that she's really low coming around this corner. I'd rather just be shooting her when she comes around the corner. Because if Tracer's coming around the corner and we can see her through the wall of Sombra, she's at 75 hit points. So I'd rather just be shooting her and try to kill her as she comes around the corner. And it turns out she actually had way less than 75 hit points. She actually had like 3. So... turns out we would have killed her real fast. If Tracer's coming around the corner half health for Tracer is pretty fucking low. Look before you leap, I think, is the main moral about that story right there. So we've got Emp built up. It's not exactly going well, kill-wise. You know, they've got a bit of a lead on us, slightly more than double at this point. We have Emp'd them real good, but most of our team's dead right now, so... it doesn't really convert into too terribly much, and now we're going to play Widowmaker. Make sure you emp when people are around, you know. That's why they pay me the big bucks right there. Use your ult when your teammates are around you. So, you know, aim better. That's also why they pay me the big bucks. I admire the gumption to just stand there and stare the Moira down through her ultimate, but... maybe would have been more wise to get out of the way. Oh, got her. Nice. Easy peasy. Not even close. So chuck that Venom Mine out there somewhere. Venom Mine is, I thought he was just going to start spinning as soon as he came out of Wraith form, honestly. So that went better than expected. A lot of people, when they play Widowmaker, they don't use Venom Mine. Venom Mine is like one of the most underused abilities in the entire game, I swear to God. Just, like, have it somewhere. Even if it's not, like, a great place, you know? It's better to have the cooldown doing something, rather than nothing at all. So that didn't go particularly great for us. That's okay. We're not really here about the video, to be honest, because I don't know anything about 4v4. There's just a lot of questions. We'll see what Moira did, which is, you know, oh, touching, yep, Give him the diddles, give him the spray, yep. Give him the, yep, oof, oof, oof. And she lives. Hooray, incredible. Alright, so that was great. So, now, you're gonna have to bear with this real ugly, like, interface for a second. So, let's see. I'm still having a lot of trouble on Soldier and Free-For-All as taking on Soldier and Free-For-All as Sombra, but also as any hero. Who counters Soldier, or is there a trick to killing Soldier as most heroes? I have the most success with Mate, but even then, it feels like Soldier always has the kill advantage. So, the trick usually is to get him to use Biotic Field, go away, and then come back, because it's difficult to kill Soldier through Biotic Field. You can do it, but, you know, it's hard to do it. So, usually the trick is get that out of him, go away, then come back, because Biotic Field has a 15-second cooldown, so you can usually go away and then come back relatively easily, as most heroes. You know, Sombra, whoop, whoop, back again. As for who counters Soldier, it's basically like dive heroes and people that have the ability to burst him down through Biotic Field. So like Diva, Winston, Reaper, who else? Ashe, McCree. People who can burst him down, basically, or just basically keep, like, outlast him as well in the Biotic Field, but the trick is basically get him to use that and then come back. Also, how long do you think this new sniper meta will last? Everyone has been playing the new hero, but I've noticed a lot more of the other ranged DPS like Widowmaker, Hanzo, and McCree. I've been avoiding competitive recently because I've had to be the only healer in a quarter of the games I've played so far, with flanking mobile snipers on both teams. A few games have been all three Hanzo, Ashe, and Widowmaker on the enemy team. Yeah, I've seen that happen quite a bit, but I'm the Ashe, so I'm part of the problem. Coming from different angles, and it has been difficult for me to keep track of that many threats while solo healing. If they added in a Tracer, I am for sure dead. So, I haven't really observed that much of a sniper meta. I've noticed that the long-ranged heroes have been picked more frequently, mostly because, you know, Ashe is one of them now. But, to be honest with you, I haven't really seen that many, snipers, to be honest. Which, I mean, could just be variance more than anything else. If anything, it'll probably only get worse as people get better at playing Ashe, because Ashe is pretty strong. You just have to be good at playing Ashe. Though having said that, it might not get that much worse, because playing I've noticed a lot of people have been playing less Ashe lately, and I think that's because Ashe has the same effect as Widowmaker does, where if your teammates see you pick Ashe, they'll throw the game for you half the time, and it doesn't matter if you are carrying the game, they'll be e-bullying you the entire time regardless. So, you know, maybe it might not actually get that much worse, but Ashe is real strong, so I can't imagine it changing anytime soon, unless we end up going into, like, a super hardcore dive meta instead, which might happen, given that if that many snipers are around, people will be more inclined to pick the dive hero, so it could go either way, depending on what the community decides to do, which, who knows with the Overwatch community. In your opinion, is it okay in some situations to solo heal as Sombra, or should I keep trying to make an actual support work no matter what? So the short answer is no. I know that this goes into a little bit more detail than that. The gist is basically, I have trouble surviving. Sombra doesn't work as a healer in general. So I wouldn't recommend that one. If you're having trouble surviving, then the best thing you can really do if you're having to solo heal is pick Moira or Lucio, because those are two of the hardest supports to kill. Moira has the orb, the suck heal, and fade, so she's quite survivable. You can just wait for people to jump on you, fade away, and then you're good to go. Lucio, generally difficult to kill, so there's that, though Lucio is much less good as a solo heal than Moira is. If we're talking main healers that are survivable, then the only one really is Moira, unless you're really fucking good at Ana. But no, I would not recommend trying to make Sombra work as a solo healer. Or, I guess you can kind of justify it as an off healer depending on the map, but even still, I wouldn't. So, could you also please take a look at these clips and tell me why I died in them? The first is in free-for-all, and I'm playing Sombra, and I'm fighting a Mercy on a hacked Mega Health Kit. I had to heal twice during the fight from the pack, yet she still kills me before I can kill her. I wasn't standing completely still in the health kit either. Can you tell me why I didn't get the kill in that situation? Is it just aim, or was I taking damage from somewhere else? So, I opened them all up, but I don't remember which one's which. So, we'll see, I suppose. So, we're bullied the Anna, real good. Ooh, geometry, okay. So, yeah, this has to be the one. I mean, basically, it's gonna be aim better, yeah. You're right, we're not standing perfectly still, but we also aren't really moving around that much, but there isn't a lot of room to work with on this platform either. Because we're just kind of wiggling back and forth, mostly in place. We're also... Let me slow it down a little bit, rather than having to keep rewinding constantly to illustrate my point. So. Wait for it. So, now we start moving towards and backwards from Mercy, which is not making us any harder to kill. Because if you look, we're not really moving around much. We're just kind of wiggling back and forth, mostly towards and from Mercy, rather than side to side. So Mercy isn't actually having to try that hard to hit us, whereas we have to try a fair bit harder than she does. But the gist of that one is basically going to be aim better, but we also could be moving a little bit better to make it harder to for her to hit us as well. The second is Team Deathmatch, and I want to kill a demeching diva, and I make my way to another hacked health kit and fight her on that. Can you tell me how I could have played that one better, or is it just shoot her better? So, let's see. So she pops out of the mech. There's no reason to hack her, first off. This isn't really related to killing her, but there's no reason to hack her, because she clearly doesn't have her ult, right? She didn't, like, her mech... got broken. She didn't ult, and she didn't elect to use self-destruct, so she doesn't have her ult right now. So there's actually no reason to hack her just yet, because she actually has to build up Call Mech before there's a reason to hack her yet. That doesn't really tie into killing her at all, it's just there's no reason to hack her. So, there's that. Let's see. Yeah, basically it's aim better. It's hard to kill Baby Diva in general, like... if you're a squishy hero, like, with a relatively precision-based weapon, because she's very small, so she's quite hard to hit. And she doesn't have to actually hit you that many times to kill you, all things considered. Like, she's been killing us pretty quickly, so it's basically going to be aim better, yeah. She also does have a projectile weapon, so it's better to be further away from Diva than close to her, but, like... It's not exactly like it's a hard-to-hit projectile weapon, so yeah, that one's basically going to be aim better also. We didn't need a hacker. We also could have tried to fight her from slightly further away to make it harder for her, because we know she's going to go for the health kit from this position, so rather than just going, like, straight onto her, we could have gone around the other side of this arch and then shot at her from there the entire way over to the health kit. Because she gets, like, mostly up to it before she realizes it's hacked. And then we would have been further away from her, because she also does, like, some punching as well, so if we were further away it might have worked out, but I'm basically going to say aim better, yeah. So, last one. The third clip was in No Limits. I watched the kill cam in slow motion and the arrow headshots sail... The arrow that headshots me sails right past me. I don't know why. I think I just had a stroke. Is this a lag issue, or is Mercy just more vulnerable while using Valkyrie? I imagine being higher in the air reduces your vulnerability because it acted funny with what hits... you, but I'm not really sure. So here's the thing with because that just looked like a classic Hanzo right here. That was pretty close, honestly. I was closer than I thought it was. So what was the question exactly here? I watched the kill cam in slow motion and the arrow that headshots me sails right past me. Oh, no. That's well within the bounds. Like, you know, that's one of those things where you look at it like, that should miss, because we'll see if we can get it, like, dead on, right? Because, like, yeah, it's a fair distance to the side of my head, so that shouldn't hit me, right? Nah, arrows, Hanzo's arrows are fucking beefy boy hitboxes right there, so that's just Hanzo right there. He's fires some big ol' fucking honking logs at you right there, so that's not actually that surprising. Is this a lag glitch or is just more vulnerable while using Valkyrie? No, it's literally just the hitboxes on the arrows are fucking huge. The hitboxes on everything, basically, are really fucking big. Because there's a lot of, like, fast movement in the game, so it's kind of to do with that, basically. The hitboxes just aren't very one-to-one, so... I just felt completely... And then the last thing, we already watched the video. I just felt completely powerless against that team. I'm not sure who I should have swapped to that match or how I needed to change my playstyle that match. I noticed that they didn't have much to fight a Widowmaker or Pharah, but unfortunately I don't think I'm good with either of those, and I couldn't make any of the heroes that I play more often work. So in general, I think we probably played just, like, too aggressively over the match. We kind of, like, threw ourselves bodily into them a few times. But it kind of felt like our whole team basically was getting dumpstered, and then there was a lot of, like, running into uneven fights as well. So, we probably played too aggressively, but honestly, I think that was just one of those games where you pretty much get fucked, because... everything seemed to be going wrong, really. Yeah, so that was everything, right? That was all the questions. How long I met Sniper Meta. Yeah, that was everything. So, there you go. Good talk, team. So, thank you very much for watching if you did. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm more than happy to answer. If you felt I answered any of your questions from the email inadequately, please let me know, and I will try to expand further. If you haven't already, you can join our Discord and ask questions more directly and have a conversation about them, or just shitpost with us, and I hope you found the video helpful.